Well, good evening and welcome to the Bermuda School Sports Federation Denton Hurdle Memorial Awards winners interview. I'm joined by quite a few of the people who were selected and actual winners of categories. I want to first start off by letting you introduce yourself. I'm going to start to my left, and that is Kari. You could just introduce yourself and the school in which you attend.
My name is Kari Sharif, and I attend Whitney Institute Middle School.
Okay.
My name is Camryn Lines, and I attend Saltus Grammar School.
My name is Caleb Ingham, and I attend Warwick Academy.
Hi, my name is Imogen Judd, and I attend Somersfield Academy.
Hi, my name is Amber Simons, and I just graduated from Warwick Academy.
Okay. Well, first of all, welcome to each and every one of you, and congratulations. What we're going to get into is some of the things you do sports-wise, some of the things you do outside of sports, because in order to be recognized for this award, it's not just what you do in between the lines of whatever sport you do, it's also what you do outside the lines. And I think a lot of the teachers who put your names forward admire you for what you're able to do, not only in activity, but outside of activity. So Amber, congratulations on just graduating Warwick Academy. Give us a sense of some of the things you do outside of the sports that you do, because you do quite a few sports.
Right. I'm sorry. Do you mean like community service wise, or you mean just literally outside?
Service or anything related? Yeah.
Right. So I've done community service for PGA Golf Tour, Word of Life, helping out with the summer camp. I've done dog agility training, and I've done what used to be the Berkeley Showcase, where the primary schools would put on a musical performance. I used to help out with that as well.
No, when you say dog agility training, that's kind of a skill and an art, because not all the time the dogs want to do what you want him to do, him or her to do. How did you find that?
Well, we were with the dogs' handlers, so actually it was pretty okay. That they were very well trained, and for the most part, they knew what they were doing. So it was actually very easy to work with them.
Okay, good stuff.
Yep.
Camryn, I'm going to come to you. What are some of the things you do outside of the time that you're doing your sport?
So I've helped do a lot of stuff with horseback riding. I've helped at WinReach with disabled people. I've helped teach lessons there. There's a lot of stuff that I've done that are a bit smaller that I can't quite remember at this moment. But many of the things were just involved with coaching, even with football, like coaching the younger ones. Even at futsal, I was helping out there. It was mostly that.
You look at some of the things that you were able to accomplish, and you talk about the coaching aspect. How is it that you kind of grasp things so fast that you're able to then deliver a message to people?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Kind of just cut off a bit.
Being young, and how are you able to deliver your coaching method to people when you're kind of especially at a place like WinReach or wherever you do the horse training?
Well, you mainly just have to be calm and patient with the people that you are teaching, because sometimes they won't necessarily understand what you're trying to say the first time, especially because you'll know more about what you're teaching the people that you are teaching than themselves. So you kind of have to explain it a bit more, and it's all just about patience, really.
Okay, and you have a lot of them. That's good. Imogen, what about you?
I've done a lot of teaching kids how to swim outside of school, and then also after school clubs with like after school with kids from our school. I would help out there. And then I also did training with Sharks, my swim club, and I helped the kids out there as well.
Okay, good stuff. So you primarily help around the pool, so you kind of stay in touch with some of the things that you're comfortable in doing.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Kari?
I mainly help out with like sports camp type things, like football, running, futsal, and etc.
Okay, all right. And last but not least, Caleb?
Same as the rest, kind of like I just help around the pool and like swimming camps like White's Island. I've helped out there, teach kids how to swim, technique, all that, and like triathlon camps. So like at Clearwater there would be like a camp. I'll just help out around and like just teach the kids things, show them how to do things, and just guide them through everything.
Yeah. Have you settled in on a particular sport now, or you're still feeling your way through swimming and or cycling and or running?
Well, you know that I did triathlons, and like out of those
Yeah.
three sports, swimming was my favorite. So
Right.
like I've really focused more on swimming lately, and I've just been doing a lot more of that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys have done for your school in the sporting aspect of it all. What you've been able to accomplish over the course of the time that you've been at your school. How you've grown at the school in the sports that you've played. So, Corey, you've been at Whitney. Your first impression of when you went to Whitney and how you see it now that you're kind of getting ready to move on, if you are.
Yes. When I first went Whitney when I was in M1, I was like pretty nervous because some of my friends went to different schools and I didn't really know the people in M2 and M3, so I had to ease my way in. And sports wise, I think that school has helped me improve my game and everything that has to do with sports, really.
Okay, cool. All right. What about you, Camryn? How have you grown in sports at the school?
Well, it was tough when I first moved because I kind of had to get my name known again, especially when I moved this year. So it was more difficult, and I definitely had to prove myself. So I had to perform even better than I did at my old school. Just because I'm now at a more athletic school, it's definitely a lot more difficult, and I definitely had to work on my craft a lot more at home than I did before.
Well, let me ask you, because you mentioned some good strong points there. What are some of the things you've done on your own or done privately to help you accomplish that goal and that feat when you arrived at the new school?
So I did a lot of training with my dad. He's my personal coach, especially for football. And I would say just the athleticism in football, because that's my main sport, has definitely helped me with other things to do with athletics. And I've also done a lot of fitness to keep up with the football fitness, especially because I'm in the national squad as well. So I have to keep up my fitness for that.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. And let's go down to Amber.
Yeah, all the different sports have honestly helped me in so many ways. Like there's different things you can learn from each sport. And then also you learn like a lot of teamwork because you're playing sports with people who you go to school with, but not necessarily blend with. So like let's say I'm in year 13, I'm playing with a year 11. Like you form different friendships and relationships, and there's different skills that sports can teach you that apply to the sports world, but also apply to like your social life, your work life, and like it goes beyond. And it's been really like a nice learning experience, and I'm definitely grateful for it.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Imogen?
Like Amber said, like there's a lot of skills that come in with doing all different types of sports at school. Because I do volleyball and swimming, and sadly there's no pool in Summersfield, but we did get to do volleyball and a bunch of other sports, which is great because you learn teamwork skills. And I do an individual sport and a team sport, so it's good to learn kind of both ways and different tactics and methods to achieve things. So yeah.
Okay. And we're going to be soon joined by Caleb McDowall. But before we get to Caleb, Caleb Ingham?
Very similar to Imogen because I also swim and play volleyball. So like the skills gained from both of those different type of sports can be very useful. You know, like volleyball, very team based, while swimming's more, you know, yourself and personal growth. So yeah, sports just help.
Okay, all right. And we're going to welcome in Caleb McDowall. Now I've got two Calebs. I've got to be careful. Caleb McDowall, can you just introduce yourself and let us know what school you attend, please?
Sure. My name's Caleb McDowall. I go to Soltis. I just graduated from Soltis in June. And my main sport is football. Yeah.
Okay. Well, being that I got you up on the screen, I've already asked the other people here. What are some of the things you have done outside of the sport that kind of got your teacher to recognize you for the Denton Harold Memorial Award?
I think a lot of it, sorry, for me, like this last year, I think that I was pretty involved, like in and around the school, like with sports, but it was like I had a like leadership roles as the house captain and athletics prefect. So I feel like I was sort of pushing that a lot to other students, and I was able to sort of bring the sports in around the school a lot more as well.
Okay, all right. Now, when we get back to kind of everyone on the panel, kind of growing in your sport, because obviously in school we do a lot of different sports. I mean, you the girls play netball and there's softball and there's when we were pre-COVID, there were so many different sports you were doing in school that you would kind of only do in school. But what did some of those sports that were unique to you? I know everybody played football and the like, but what was a sport that you primarily never played, but you had to do it in school that helped you develop in your sport? And I'm going to start with you, Amber.
If I go back to the start of high school, originally, so volleyball is my main sport now, but originally I did not play it at all. I was terrible at it. It was a rough sort of transition to get to where I am now. But I went to the BSSF tournament one time and playing volleyball, it was such like a fun, exciting atmosphere, and you really get to know your team members because you have to work with them, you have to be patient, you have to like support, give good energy, and like from what I got from that was it's definitely like a family vibe that's given off, and it makes me appreciate my team no matter what sport I'm playing a lot more, because it's very nice to have this bond that you have with your teammates. It's a great feeling.
Okay, good stuff. Caleb, I'll come to you. I'm McDowall. Sorry, McDowall. I'm gonna go last names.
All right. For me, I would say like softball. It was one of the school sports I always ended up doing, but it was just always fun. Everyone always enjoyed it, and for me, I take football very like seriously. It was very competitive all the time, so it was good to always go back to a different sport that I could always just enjoy, and then sort of try and bring that same enjoyment to my team when I went to play football as well.
Okay, all right. Imogen?
I would say football, like even just playing like on the field at lunch, like I think it's taught me a lot because you got to constantly like watch your players, and that helped me with volleyball a lot because you have to watch everyone on the court because you're working together to like achieve something or get a point. So I think that's probably what has affected my actual sports the most in school.
Okay, good stuff. What about you, Camryn?
I would definitely say running, just because it helped bring out my competitive side a lot more, and it benefited all the other sports that I wanted to play, and even netball. I started at my old school doing that, and it brought me to a club, and I was offered to go away for it, but I was playing football at the time, so I couldn't really do that. But I would say the love for netball started off with school, and I feel like if I didn't join the school team, I wouldn't be exposed to those experiences, even if I didn't represent internationally.
Well, okay, good stuff. What about you, Caleb Ingham?
I'd say for like at Work Academy at Sports Day, I just really love doing all the short, kind of speedy things like the long jump, high jump, the 100 meters, and then doing those really made me like see like what I was actually physically capable of, like sprinting, as that's like what I'm really good at when I swim. So that really allowed me to like see what I'm good at and like made me want to go into swimming more, as cycling and running weren't like my best, but like I really enjoyed the swimming, sprinting side of it. So that also made me join volleyball, which I really love the team aspect, every aspect of it now. So I thought doing those little small events at Sports Day, I don't know how it all would have went.
Good stuff. Kari?
I have to say basketball, cricket, all the stuff that's really team sports. I think that helped me with my football. So my communication with my teammates and eye contact with like cricket, you have to make eye contact in order to hit the ball. Same thing with football. And yeah, I think that those team sports actually helped me a lot with football and teamwork. Yeah.
Now, let me ask, what being recognized for a Denton Hurdle Memorial Award it's a huge thing, and not everyone can be declared a winner in this. But when you heard that you were a finalist for this award, how did it make you feel personally, knowing that what you've accomplished in your young lives? You've been able to impress not only your teachers, but also people on the outside, as well as a committee that has to decide and deliberate. I'm going to start with you, Camryn.
Honestly, I was really excited. I remember me and my mom were together, and we just like hugged each other, and we were screaming. It was really funny. But I just honestly felt so honored to be chosen for this, because I didn't think I was going to be chosen for it. Just because there are so many good people all around Bermuda, or even at my school, that deserve this as well. So I mean, I would say my big emotion was surprised and excited.
Okay, all right. And what about you, Imogen?
Yeah, I also felt similar. I was super thrilled that I was recognized for it. And it feels good that after like hard work and persistence in your sports, that you can be recognized for what you do. And it kind of just made me feel more like fulfilled. So yeah, I was like really happy about it.
Okay. And Amber?
It was honestly a huge honor, because to be even put up for this award, it's in honor of this man who was such a great sports person to the community, to the sports world, to everybody. Such a nice guy. And even though like you do all these sports and you don't really do them for other people, you do them for yourself because it makes you feel good. It's still nice to be recognized for all the hard work and dedication and effort you put into it over the years. So it was just a very it's a great feeling, honestly. I'm very thankful. Yeah.
Good. And Kari?
Yes, same as everybody else. I was honored and I was really excited because this is actually my second year winning it. So, and I was surprised about the stuff that my teachers said about me, because I'm pretty sure they had a rough time with me. But I'm just excited and thankful.
What do you mean your teachers had a rough time with you? What you mean the COVID, the at-home learning, or in-school learning?
In school mainly, because I get in trouble a little bit, but
Oh wow. Okay. Caleb Ingham?
Yeah, same like everyone. I was just like thrilled and just like excited because obviously everything like just knowing that like all the little things that you put into like your sports over the like many years just is actually being seen and like noticed is like really a good feeling. So you know like you're not putting it all to waste, you know. It's just really nice. I was very excited, happy.
Great stuff. And Caleb McDowall.
Yeah, I was quite excited to hear how I did, but I really think that I felt quite good about it because, as you all know, we haven't really had any school sports for the last year, like year and a half, pretty much. So I think it kind of just went to show that it had more of an impact outside of just playing sports because there really haven't been any. So it kind of just shows that I do a lot more and contribute more than I thought I did.
Okay. And I'm gonna get to that part about the fact that sports has kind of been put on the back burner in school only because of the pandemic and how it affected you both physically and mentally, because a lot of you dwell on the sports side as well as the academics, but without being able to do one at a regular pace and on a regular schedule, it must affect you in many ways. So how did the pandemic and the effects of it, of not being able to do a lot of school sports, how much did that affect you? Corey?
Yeah, I say it did affect me, but I don't think it affected me as much because I still did stuff on my own to keep myself fit and ready for anything that come in my way.
Okay. Camryn?
I would definitely say that it made me fall in love with my sport a bit more because it really made me think long and hard about how much I actually enjoy the sports that I do. Because I think you're kind of blinded in that aspect when you're constantly doing that sport or those sports. So it allowed me to have time to actually think about how much I loved it. And honestly, I think the time off was good for me personally because I was just working because I had so many different sports, and it was just nice to have a rest finally and to be able to work with my own skill instead of worrying about how my team did.
Right. Well, for one person, thank you, COVID. How's that? Amber?
To piggyback sort of off of Cameron's point, which was really well said, it definitely made you appreciate your sport more since you couldn't be able to do it. And it was a welcome break from always going. But at the same time, it was a little disappointing for me because I got down to my last year and it was like, okay, well, this is it. I'm not going to get to do it anymore. So it was kind of a bit heartbreaking at the same time. And then being in the IB program, which is always you're constantly on, you're constantly going. It's so much hard work. It's sports was a break for you to forget about, you know, your grades or your next test coming up. And it was a welcome relief to sort of have that. And with COVID, you know, all of that sort of went away. So you didn't really have anything to fall back on. And really like just let your mind go for a minute and just focus on your sport. So, yeah.
Okay. Imogen?
Yeah, I think that with swimming and volleyball and everyone's sports really, there was really on and off moments where we were out for like a month almost. So it was really hard because, you know, sports are all about repetition and you have to, because technical wise, like you can't lose what you got or else you have to start again almost. So it was really hard for me, especially. Sometimes I went out in the ocean and tried to do open water. So it was definitely a hard time, but it's good to have time to yourself, I guess. And like Camryn said, realize how much you enjoy the sport and how important it is to you. But I think it was a good learning experience. And yeah, it was hard to get back into it, but I used, I guess, dedication and I tried to stay fit because athletics and my sports are like a huge part of my life. So I need to keep that consistent.
Good stuff. Okay. And McDowall?
Yeah, I have to say I was quite disappointed at first when I was hearing that there wouldn't really be any sports because we had started all of our training sessions as normal at school. So like in the anticipation of the season's coming. So hearing that it wouldn't happen, was pretty sad, I guess, especially since it was the last year at school. But I think that Soldiers did quite well keeping everyone like active and involved because even though there wasn't like a season, like a BSSF season, we still were training. So we trained for football for about 2 months almost, and then a couple of us were doing individual training with Mr. Lewis, and then volleyball had started up as well, so we were training 2 3 times a week as well. So we were always active still, even though there was no season.
Okay. And Ingham?
Same as with everyone that just graduated. It was it's just really sad because like knowing that the school sports that like everyone loves to do just like we can't do anymore due to COVID was just like very upsetting to hear about. But other than that, like yeah, you still have to stay fit. So we stay for swimming we go to the beach because obviously like the pools were shut down, all that. So the fitness had to stay on, and sports still just train at your house so it could be ready for when it comes off, and we can get back active.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, you guys are leaders both on and off the field. But what type of person are you when it comes to your sport? I know some people have to get themselves into a frame of mind that they need to do it all. But some of you are in team sports, some of you are in individual sports. But what type of athlete are you? Are you an aggressive athlete? Are you one that kind of sits back and lets things happen? Just explain a little bit about yourself. And I'm going to start with you, McDowall.
I would say that aggressive was a good word to use for me. At least is how I play, and I definitely think that I try to push that onto my team. Not in the sense like that we're going around and like hurting people or trying to play super hard, but just always keeping that intensity and trying to play always at like a higher level and just keep everyone going, so to keep people motivated.
Okay. And Amber.
Definitely a little bit more towards the aggressive side. Like Caleb said, you kind of have to keep the intensity, especially for volleyball. You can never ever sit back because that's how you lose a point. The ball's coming so quick. There are so many different changes. You definitely have to keep that energy up, and you always have to be alert and assertive. And then it's even more important because I'm playing beach volleyball right now, and you don't have 6 other people to rely on the court. It's just you and maybe one other person if you're playing twos, and there's a whole court to cover, and you really have to be on it, and you have to trust in your partner and in your team if you're in indoor. So yeah.
Okay. Imogen?
Yeah, I would say I'm probably the opposite of aggressive. I'm quite I tend to psych myself out a lot before a performance, either on the court or in the pool. I just overthink things, or I just get really nervous. But I think I'm more known as a trainer and not a performer. But it's something that I definitely have to improve on because performing is the end goal, right? So, yeah, I'm definitely not an aggressive athlete. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And Ingham?
So compared to Imogen,
tell Brian ease you out. Tell Brian ease you out.
In comparison to Imogen, I'd say I'm the complete opposite to her because in training, as my summer fellows may know, that I'm not the best trainer and I can get very exhausted quite fast. However, when it comes to actual like races and getting down to it, I say I'm more aggressive. So yeah.
Okay. Camryn?
I would say like most people, I'm an aggressive player, but I also have to stay like empty-minded. I feel when I'm more relaxed coming up to, especially a game of any sport, it just helps me because I'm not thinking too much about certain things. But at the same time, I'm I would say I'm the same as Caleb. I definitely perform better in games. Well, not training.
Right.
Training, I'm definitely joking around sometimes. Probably need to work on that. But I'm joking around a lot. But definitely in games, I'm more serious about what I'm doing.
Okay. And Kari?
I think mainly a aggressive player, especially in team sports. But I mainly like to encourage my teammates to do the best. Like if they make a mistake, they always get on themselves. I tell them, don't worry about it. Just do a better job next time. Just keep the heads up.
Mm, okay, good stuff. Now that you guys have experienced quite a bit in your sport, um, what would you tell yourself when you got started in the sport? Now that you know more about the sport, what are some of the things you would have told yourself back then if you would have known what it was like to this point in your life and into your sports? And I'm going to start with you, Amber.
On one hand, would have told myself, man, you should have started earlier, in a way, because I really love it now. But I'd also tell myself to really have patience, because I did get very frustrated with myself. But volleyball is a sport that no matter how old you get, you can still learn and you can still sort of elevate yourself in your playing level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would definitely tell myself to have patience and just keep pushing at it, and probably train a little harder, um, to be honest. But yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Kari.
I would tell myself that my coaches and my parents are right because I've used to play around like a lot in training, and now I understand why they tell me that I need to work harder and stop playing around because Bermuda's standard of football and intensity is nothing like the intensity away.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I went away for World Futsal Championship,
Right.
I was the captain and I played for the futsal team. And we played against a team called Canada. Well, yeah, it was a school called
Mm-hmm.
Canada. And we played against them, and the speed that they were playing with the ball, it was fast. Like, as soon as they touched the ball, they got rid of it. Bang, bang. One person got the ball, the next person got the ball, and it was just fast speed. And yeah, I just tell myself that my coaches were right.
What about you, Camryn?
I would definitely tell myself that in order to play well in a game, if I want that result, I actually have to train and I have to be able to enjoy training instead of being like, oh, you're taking me out, you know. I want to sit home and watch YouTube, for example, or finish my Netflix show. But then I have a game the next week and I want to perform well. I can't expect to perform well if I don't train in order to perform well.
Oh, okay. And Caleb Ingham?
Very similar to Kari, I'd probably tell myself to not fool around as much, as the standard of swimming and as many sports in Bermuda is much different from away. And when you go away and actually compete against those teams, you'll really like start to notice it and like be like, wow, I really need to like change what I'm doing. So
Mm,
I'd probably tell myself that.
okay. And Imogen?
Yeah, I think that I would tell myself to be grateful it wasn't so hard when I was younger. Because I guess when you age, intensity level goes up, you're expected to work harder, do better. So when I was younger, I probably should have been more grateful that I didn't have so much stress on me and weight on my shoulders. Also, probably I should not have taken everything so seriously, and I should have more fun because I tend to just I don't really shake things off well. So yeah, probably have more fun.
Mm, I was going to ask that about if you had a bad performance, what are you like? Are you a quick recoverer? Are you someone that carries it for a while? How do you get over the emotion of a bad performance? And I'll start with you, Camryn.
I would say it's really hard to get over bad performance. I hold on to it for a really long time, especially if I know that I could have done better. And even in the moment that I've done a bad play, uh, I just beat myself up, and I've been told not to do that. I hang my head low, and I kind of take it out on the people that support me, and I just want to be alone. I don't want to be surrounded by people telling me, oh, you should have done this or this. I just want to be alone to be able to calm down after something like that.
Okay, all right. What about you, Imogen?
Yeah, I think I'm similar to Cameron. I kind of hold it with me, and I kind of need to be alone to just let it go, because at the end of the day, you probably have another shot and it's not the end of the world. But I definitely carry it with me. I think it gets into my head, and then I think, oh my God, I'm training harder, but I'm not like improving. And then it gets to your head that you're not good enough. But I guess at the end, I can also recover from it, and I keep training hard, and then hopefully I achieve my goals that I'm setting for myself.
Good stuff. Amber?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I'm so sorry.
What type of person are you after a bad performance? Are you
Oh,
one that holds
right.
on to it, or yeah?
Sorry. You definitely have to, for me to shake it off. Like I can't worry about what just happened, because if you get down on yourself, then that means the next point you're still thinking about it, and then you can shank that point as well, and then it just goes, you kind of go into like this sinkhole, and that energy brings the entire team down. So it's something that I've taught myself, like you just have to let it go, and you also have to find a bit of fun with it. Like, okay, I hit this out of the court, or I put this ball into the net. It's okay. Just focus on next time, and it's all going to be fine. Like you have to stay positive.
Okay. Caleb Ingham?
Yeah, I like them. Well, the first two, I don't really let it get to me that much. Like, I don't know, I'm just usually just calm about it. But then, like, because I know, like, in training, if I don't train, I'll just be like, well, the only person you're cheating is yourself. And, like, if you want to be good, you have to train like them. So I don't really let it get down on me too much. I'm just like, if you want to beat them, you just have to train harder. So then I'll just come back and, be straight up like, yo, this time it's over. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna show you how it's done.
Okay. Caleb McDowall?
I'll definitely say that I'll be like down for a bit after the game, a couple hours, probably for the rest of the day, but like I really wouldn't consider it a bad thing. I don't like to be bothered afterwards, but I just sit there with my thoughts sort of just running through the game and not really beat myself up about it, but hold myself accountable for what I really did wrong or what I could have done better, and then just pretty much just keep that in mind during training during the week, and then next game to make sure it doesn't happen again.
We lost Kari. Hopefully he can get back on. But what are some of the things that you want to try to do as you move to the next phase of life for yourselves, whether it be a university, college, or even a different school? What do you foresee in your future for yourself, not just in sport, but you can include sport, but also outside of sports? And Amber, I'm going to start with you. Recently graduated.
Well, to answer the sports part first, it's one thing I want to do is just never stop playing. Like I enjoy it so much that it's something that I'll probably always do. I do want to play in uni, and to get exposure to that level of playing, because it's very different from Bermuda, because like, to be frank, Bermuda's here, and then the level of playing just goes up here. So to be exposed to all of that is actually pretty exciting, and it gets me super excited to go out there and even not just watch, but like play. And then I do want to go through all of university and hopefully get my degree, but I want to make sure like I have fun in my job, if that makes sense. Like I don't want to wake up and kind of like hate what I'm doing. I want to make sure it's like something that I love to do and can wake up every day happy and excited to go to work.
Okay, all right. We're rejoined by Kari, but we've lost Caleb. Camryn?
I would definitely say, same with Amber, I want to be able to wake up and enjoy what I'm doing, whether that's with sports or I'm working a 9 to 5 like most people. I would definitely say that I'm more scared of being like everybody else than not succeeding in something that I want to try. So I don't want to close off different opportunities to be able to experience something that, you know, a lot of people aren't able to experience, even in sports or just education. So I want to be able to go to a good school, whether that's outside of Bermuda, or go to a really good college, or even go to an academy for sports.
Okay, good stuff. What about you, Imogen?
Yeah, I think that I'm really young, so it's like I'm enjoying multiple subjects in school and I'm doing different sports. And I think that as time goes on, I need to go with my instincts and see what I like, see what I don't like, and also try new things to see if I would like those things, because our future can be really unexpected. And I think you should do as much as you can just to see what the best outcome can be for you. So I guess that's kind of my goal, is to see what I like, see what I dislike, and see where it takes me.
Okay. And welcome back, Caleb. Let's go to McDowall.
Yeah, in the long run, I'd probably say it's quite similar to Amber. Just trying to go to university, to a degree for something that I'm really interested in, something I enjoy doing, but playing football at the same time. The opportunity came to play professionally, I'd probably take it, something I want to do. But in the short term, I would say I really want to embrace coaching a bit more. I've been coaching for the last season or so, and I really feel that, like, same way everyone sort of been mentioning that Bermuda's a bit lower than where everyone's trying to aspire to be. I think that kind of have a better understanding of that, and I could help other people and sort of at least bring them to a level closer to where they want to be.
Okay, good stuff. And for Caleb, Ingham, and Kari, the question was, as you move on in life, what are some of the things you're hoping to accomplish, not only in the sport but outside the sport? As you move further in life. So, Kari, I want to go to you.
I would want to play professional for football and actually go to a college away somewhere, someplace like, I don't really know, but go to college, play professionally, and yeah.
Okay. And Ingham?
Well, just having graduated, the next step would be like university, and I do plan on swimming when I'm away at university. I always like do sports, I'd say, because I just love the feeling of just being fit and just sporty. Like, I don't think I'd be able to give that up. So yeah, obviously I'd still do sports, but not on top of sports. I'd also have to be doing my academics. So going to university, getting a good career, getting a good, just education out of it, and yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I want to thank all of you for what you've been able to accomplish in your lives, in your sports, outside of sports. I would encourage you to keep up the good work, both on and off the field of play. Kind of encourage your friends to kind of do the same things, follow kind of your footsteps. You are leaders. And just being recognized for the Denton Hurdle Memorial Award would recognize that you are leaders of your peers, and hopefully you can pull some more along with you. And as you move to the next phase, someone in your circle can be the next award winner for the Denton Hurdle Memorial Award. Okay. So, folks, thank you, and I want to again congratulate Camryn Lines, Imogen Judd, Kari Sharif, Caleb McDowall, Amber Simons, and Caleb Ingham for joining me here on the Bermuda School Sports Federation's Denton Hurdle Memorial Awards winners for 2021. Enjoy your night.